Alright, it's a snowy Tuesday. Hopefully we don't get stuck here in the driveway. We're fine. School was closed today. It's 7:34. Temperature is, well, the car says it's 19, but I know it's a lot colder than that since we just got out of the garage. In the house, I think it said it was 12. But today is January 21, 2014. And we are on our way to work. I know most people probably think I'm crazy, but I love to drive in the snow. Even though I ran off the road here a little while back, that's because I was just being stupid. And I imagine I've done other stupid things. Saturday, this past weekend, I knew it was going to snow about like this, nothing serious, but I decided to go to Indianapolis to see a movie. And when I got out of the movie, it was about 6:30, I think. And roads were pretty well snow covered. Driving on the interstate about 35, 45. 45 was the max. That's as fast as you could really go. And that probably was too fast. When I think back to what I was doing, I would get behind somebody going slower than I thought they should be going, and I'd pass. And there was a path worn down to the pavement, pretty much, in the lane that I was in, but I decided I was going to pass, and I did that several times. And somebody slid coming up here. I did that several times, but you pass over into the other lane next to you, and you get into that slush, and that's what can throw you. So I probably would have been smarter if I just stayed in my lane. But I didn't. I was being a cowboy, I guess. I've learned to drive this car. I drive a little bit better, I think, in the snow. This is really the first winter that we've had that I've driven the car in with much snow. So normally we don't. Well, the last two winters haven't really been that big of a winter. Very, very little snow, and so this is the first proper winter we've had in a few years. But I love driving in it because it's so quiet. don't hear that. You don't hear the road noise. You don't hear the noise of the tires on the pavement. It's just so quiet. It's like you're in an electric car. Everything's kind of damped down, noise. There haven't been many people through here. Kind of a surprise. Well, the car says we're down to 16 now. I still think that's a little warm, but
to decide that the things that I tried were in my life just to get high on. When I sit alone, come get a little known, but I need more than myself this time. Step from the road to the sea to the sky, and I do believe that we rely on. When I lay it on, come get to play it on, all my life to sacrifice. Hey, oh, listen what I say, oh, I got your head. Now listen what I say, oh, oh. When will I know that I really can go to the well once more? Time to decide on. When it's killing me, when will I really see all that I need to look inside? Come to believe that I better not leave before I get my chance to ride. When it's killing me, what do I really need? All that I need to look inside. Hey, oh, listen what I say. Come back and hey, oh, look at what I say, oh. The more I see, the less I know, the more I like to let it go. Hey, oh, whoa, whoa. Deep beneath the cover of another perfect wonder where it's so white as snow, clarity divided by a world so undecided, and there's nowhere to go. In between the cover of another perfect wonder, and it's so white as snow, running through the field where all my tracks will be concealed, and there's nowhere to go. Oh! When to descend to amend for a friend all the channels that have broken down. Now you bring it up, I'm gonna ring it up just to hear you sing it out. Step from the road to the sea to the sky, and I do believe what we rely on. When I lay it on, come get to play it on, all my life to sacrifice. Hey, oh, listen what I say, oh, I got your hey, oh, listen what I say.
that we just passed on the right are the, and you can see it, maybe you can see it off on the right there. Anyway, that's the old canal. The town we just went through is Metamora. It was, Metamora was platted in 1838, and before the railroad really took over in this part of the country, and Indiana became a state in 1816, but there really weren't, the railroads really hadn't taken off just yet, and canals are how they transported their goods to market. This canal on the right, the Whitewater Canal, it went all the way to Cincinnati, which is about 50 miles away, and somehow it linked up to the Ohio River, and it went as far north as Cambridge City, Indiana, which is probably another good 50 miles to the north. But the town of Metamora, it was a trade depot, because the canal went through there, and farmers would, they'd put their livestock or their grain or whatever they had, and they'd put it on the canal boat. Passengers too, I guess. I'm not really sure. And they would go to market. But state of Indiana invested a lot of money in canals. But then the railroad came along, and the railroad was quicker and cheaper, and it bankrupted the canal system. And I think if it didn't, it almost bankrupted the whole state. And so the canals, they didn't live very long. But that town, Metamora, if you go through the old part, there's a lot of still the original buildings, and it's kind of like they have a festival there in the fall, and a lot of shops where they sell antiques and a lot of junk, A lot of people, they come from all over, and they'll come to Metamora, especially during canal days, because there's a lot of vendors that come in from outside. It's almost like a big flea market. I mean, you can buy just about anything there during canal days. But it was pretty popular back in the day, but then the railroad came through and killed it. I mean, what would you rather do? Would you rather take a canal boat ride towed by a horse to Cincinnati, or would you rather hop on a train that, I don't know, went 35, 45 miles an hour? I don't know how fast trains went back then, but I'd rather take the train.
Where all my tracks will be concealed, and there's nowhere to go. Oh! When to descend to amend for a friend all the channels that have broken down. Now you bring it up, I'm gonna ring it up just to hear you sing it out. Step from the road to the sea to the sky, and I do believe